Hi, child of God, obedience. Who hates that obedient child? When you tell your child do this and your child does what you've told them, that is the most loving child that every parent wants to have. It's the same thing with our God. God wants us to be obedient. Abraham was considered to be righteous and the father of many generations because he gave his only son that God asked him to give, Isaac, and that considered him to be righteous. And Saul, he was a king because he did not obey God when he refused to kill all the people that God told him. He lost his kingship to David. And David, even though he fell because of the sin of adultery, when he repented, he remained to be the king, and Jesus came through the line of David. So, a child of God, obedience. I no longer want to, that is why they say obedience is better than a sacrifice. You can do all your sacrifices, but when you don't do what God tells you to do, you are short of it. Think about it. If at all you have 2 children, and one child does, let me say, the house rituals. One before in the night, you tell them when you wake up, do the dishes, do the laundry, and that is all. And that child wakes up and does what you told them to do. And another one, you give them what they're supposed to do, and the other person does not do it. But can cook, can do even like, can work more harder than this other person who did what you told her or he to do. You understand? So, whom would you really love? So many of us, we are like that. We do too much for God. But when God comes one time and says, hey, can you please do that for me? You say no. I'll do it either in my time. I do it when I feel like. But there are those ones, when they hear God's voice, they act immediately. And God will say, I'll always use this person because they hear and act. So obedience is better than a sacrifice. The easier we learn that, the easier our lives are going to be, child of God, because we are children of God. So if at all we want to be a good child, be obedient. Be obedient. Do what your father wants you to do. Jesus says, what makes me to be the most loving son is because I do what pleases my father. I do what my father tells me to do. So, child of God, what is that thing that God told you to do, and you're still discussing? You're still arguing in your heart. Do it, and everything will fall into place. Obedience is better than a sacrifice. Remember that. Blessed day.